In this video, we will learn about the letter writing, how to write letters. With the advent of email and other ways of electronic communication, the letters have become less important. But even then, they are one of the strongest modes of communication. There are two types of letters. The one is official letters and the other is personal letters. The official letters are written to the organizations for dealing a business work, and whereas personal letters to the relatives and for those whom we know very personally. As there are two different letters, the tone of communication in these two letters is also different. In this video, we will learn how to write an official letter. So, official letters are written in order to do business or transact official matters within organizations or among organizations. Here, to do business, business means work, our day to day work, and transact official matters. So, to communicate the official matters within the organization, okay, from one employee to the another employee, okay, and among the organizations, from one organization to another organization, official letters are written. Letters which citizens write to seek redressal for personal or public grievances to officials. Letters written by the citizens to the officers. Let us take the officer, the district collector. So people write letters submitting the grievance to the collector. Okay, it can be a letter of complaint or request to do something. So these are official letters. And people write letters to the editors to publish. Here the people may communicate their opinion, or they may praise an article, or they may submit a grievance to the editors. All these letters are official letters. Job application letters. When you apply for a job and write a letter in this regard, it comes under job application letters. Acceptance and offer letters. When you are applying for a job and your proposal is accepted, they will submit a letter in return. That is also an official letter. Sometimes an offer letters, something may be offered in the letter, that come under the offer letters. So these all come under the communication of official letters. Letters to the head of institution. When you write letters to the head of the institution, like a college, like a principal of a college, or the headmaster of certain high school or institution. So these all come under the official letters. Even you write leave letters to your class teacher or the principal. This also come under the category of official letters. Now, a due care must be taken to write official letters. All the letters should be written in a formal language. It is a compulsory because we do not have any intimate relationship and we need to write in formal language, and all the letters are formal situations. When you write official letters, try to use simple language because if you have a lot of vocabulary and you are presenting your whole vocabulary in that letter, then it is not easy for the recipient or for the reader to comprehend. And with this, the reader may be vexed, or it takes a lot of time for the reader to comprehend, or again there will be another exercise for him to look at the dictionary. So that's why use plain simple English, simple language when you write letters. Express clearly to the point. Don't add unnecessary information uh, into the letters when you are writing. They should be up to the point, and when you can say the point straight in a sentence, you tell or write it in a sentence, and don't enlarge for 5 or 6 lines the information. Okay, because you can tell it in one simple sentence, so use in a simple sentence. You can tell the same thing in 5 or 6 sentences, so leave these 5 or 6 sentences. Don't provide the information in 5 or 6 sentences, but try to write in the single sentence. That means I want here to you to be concise, brief. Some people have saying the same say repetition. They have the habit of repetition of sentences. Don't do like that. The same information or the same thing is said repeatedly, so avoid repetition also. It should be free from grammatical errors. Before sending the letter, try to check whether there are any grammatical errors. And also another important thing you need to check is the spelling mistakes. Because sometimes when we type, there will be typing typographical graphical error. So avoid such things. Have a spell check. And always our letters should be polite. There shouldn't be any impoliteness in the letters. Here I am saying, if you are complaining, even if you are complaining, if it is a letter of complaint, complain politely. The tone should be a polite way. Must be written in standard format. Letters have got a standard format. they may not be written in the way as you like. So we will look at the format of the letter in this video also. So you should always maintain a standard format. To summarize, address properly, greet heartily, write clearly, and end it correctly. Now, letters may be of following categories. When you are complaining something, let us take an example that the drainage in your locality is overflowing or it is not good, then it is and you want to bring it to the notice of some authority, then it is a letter of complaint. Your neighbor is making a lot of noise or a lot of sound pollution by increasing the volume of the speakers, and you want to tell it to the police, then it is also called as a letter of complaint. A letter of inquiry. You are asking the information about something, how to do. That is a letter of inquiry. Condolence. If somebody passes away, you will write a letter of condolence. A condolence message is sent in that letter. So it is a letter of condolence. A request. Our letters mostly are request type because we request somebody to do something or some provide information. So most of our letters are request. Invitation. You may invite somebody through letters, and these are called letters of invitation. For example, your birthday. You are inviting your friend on a birthday and you are writing a letter, or somebody's marriage is there, you are inviting on that marriage through a letter, then it is a letter of invitation. And then congratulations. Officially, your colleagues or they have achieved some great success, so you need to congratulate your colleagues. Then you can write it in the form of a letter. Or your subordinates have done a great job and they have brought some reputation to your institution, then you can officially write a letter congratulating them. Thanks. It's a letter of gratitude. You may express gratitude for early action somebody has taken, some official has taken, or some information they have provided to you in your request, or anyway. So when you are expressing thanks, it's a letter of thanks. Then leave letters, leave. It's a very common way. When you want to be absent from the duty, you ask for leave, and such letters are leave letters, and letters written to newspapers and magazines. Look at the letter in the next slide and note the observations in the blanks. So here I have provided with you 10 blanks. Please take a notebook and in your notebook fill the blanks. after looking at the letter. You need to name what they are called. See, on the top right is 1, then below it is 2, on the left side is 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9 and 10. So what they are called, try to note down. I hope you have noted it down. The first is the address there. We technically call it as sender's address. The person who is sending, he will write his address. Then the other is the date when the letter is written. The third is recipient's address. The fourth is salutation. Here it is sir. It is called salutation. Then the fifth one is subject line. The sixth one is reference. The seventh and eighth are the body of the letter. And the eighth one is called the closing phrase, closing statement. The ninth is subscription or complimentary close. The 10th is signature and your name. So now look at various parts of these letters and how they are organized, where they are placed. Now you have looked at the various parts of the letter. We will look at them in detail. Sender's address, date, recipient's address, salutation or it is called greeting, subject line, reference, body of the letter, complimentary close, signature and enclosures. Please try to note the parts of the letter. Okay. Now let us look at each of them in detail. The sender's address. The sender's address should consist the name of the sender, address for communication, complete address, and if it is a if you belong to an institution or a company, better write your address of the company because it's an official letter. It's better you write the official address of that company. And when you hold a position and you are writing uh, the letter in that position, try to mention the designation also, and mobile number and email address, and all these should be of official one. Date. It's various ways of writing date. Here I have mentioned a few. The first way is May 8, 2020, or something like this, 8th May 2020. Or the very common we use is 08 slash 05 slash 2020 or 8 dash 5 dash 2020. The last one is 5/8 2020. These days, the American way of writing the date has become very popular. That is, in this way, we write the month first, then the date. When, but in India, we use the other ways of writing the date, the first four, because in India we write the date first and then the month, then the year. So in India we prefer this. The next is recipient's address. So recipient is the person whom you are directing this letter or whom you are addressing this letter. Always write the designation of the person to whom you are addressing, then the name of the institution or the company, and the address, the locality, if state and country, everything should be written. And now, salutation. This sets the tone of the letter. The very common salutation used is sir. For any official letter, you can use this salutation. You can use dear sir for male and dear madam for female. For the strangers, okay, if it is sir, use dear sir. If it is madam, dear madam. This can be used for strangers and equal status cadre. That means the two people are holding a same official position. For example, a principal to another principal. Okay, a lecturer to another lecturer. An executive engineer to another executive engineer. So, same cadre. You can write dear sir oblique madam. When the gender is not known, you can write dear sir or oblique madam, because see, don't confuse with the top one and below one. It is dear sir. It is in the letter you are not writing oblique dear madam. Those two are separate. But here, dear sir or madam. It can be dear sir or dear madam. When the gender is not known, you are writing the both sir and madam because you don't know the gender. And something like dear sirs can also be written when it is not a single person but it is a group. And see, for firms with plural names, like the Tatas, some firms have some plural names. Uh, see, like JS Brothers, not GS Brothers, something like that. If the firm has a plural name, you can direct it with dear sirs. Or a board of people, if there is a board and you are addressing to the total board, to the board of directors, board of directors, it's a plural one. When you are addressing to the whole board of directors, then you need to write dear sirs, because you are addressing to all the board. Something like dear madam, dear Dr. Sinha. Here you can directly write the name of the person. If the person is well known to you, you can write the name of that person. But in India, we won't write the name of a person, we simply write sir. But it is a practice in foreign countries, writing the name of the person or their position. And the most important is the official letters have a subject line. So this should be written in very short, within 3 or 4 words, because uh, this lets the reader know the why the letter is written, the broad purpose of the letter. And the next is reference. Reference is something where you can write the previous correspondence or previous information why that letter is written. Let us take one example. You have ordered some chairs for a company, and they have uh, informed you that they will deliver the goods within a short period, and they have told you some specific time. They have communicated you with a letter. Now you didn't get those goods. The goods are not delivered to you till now. Now you want to make an inquiry why they are not delivered. So to inquire, you need the previous correspondence, the letter that they will send you the goods in the specific time. So that is the correspondence that they have made previously, that you can write as a reference. When you write as a reference, don't write lengthy long sentences, but all the letters have some date and some number. Generally official letters are marked with number and date. So in the reference, that's enough if you write the number, letter number, date, and the office which has given that letter. Okay, for example, let us take another example. You are applying for a job, and you have seen that uh, the vacancies in a newspaper. So here the reference is your newspaper. In your the newspaper, uh, they have advertised. So you can put reference as the your advertisement in the Deccan Herald or any newspaper, in the Hindu, dated 6/6/2020 or something like that. So that is the reference. Any correspondence that you want to refer. Now the next is body of the letter. This is the important part where you are conveying the whole information why you are writing the letter. So there is an introductory paragraph. In the introductory paragraph, why you can introduce why you are writing a letter. Or you, I would like to submit. You can tell it like this. It can be two paragraphs or more than two paragraphs. So in the middle paragraphs, if the topic is very long, you go for 3, 4 and sometimes 5 paragraphs. It doesn't matter. But you need to be straight up to the point. Clearly state the points here. And in the concluding paragraph, what action you would like the recipient to take is said in the concluding paragraph. Then the next is the complementary clause. In other words, we call it a subscription, or it is also called as closing. It should be very courteous. There are 3 ways of closing your letter: yours sincerely, yours faithfully, and yours truly. Yours sincerely. If you mention the name or for a person of your cadre or rank. We discussed now itself, when you write the salutation, sometimes we write the name of the candidate. Like I have given an example of Dear Mr. Sinha. Okay. So there you have, in the salutation part, you have written the name of the person. So when you are writing the name of the person in the salutation, it is advised to write yours sincerely as a complimentary clause. And also, for a person of your cadre or rank, when you belong to the same cadre, two people belonging to the same cadre, and the communication is between these two people, then yours sincerely. Yours faithfully for a person above your rank or cadre. When you are writing a letter to the person who is superior in the cadre, so for those people, you need to write yours faithfully. Then yours truly is written for strangers. When you don't know the person, to someone who is unknown, you write yours truly. And also when you mention dear sir and dear madam in the salutation, then you write yours truly. And signature. After the complimentary clause, we end the letter with a signature. Always try to remember that after the complimentary clause, leave a line, leave some space, and below that place, always put the signature. And it is very compulsory to write your name in block letters below the signature, because your signature is not cannot be read. No, our signatures are of various types, and it cannot be read. That's why better you write the name in block letters. Block letters is preferred because the the cursive letters may not be understood properly. Block letters can be understood very properly, so that's why try to write them in block letters. And then the last is enclosures. This is an optional one. If your letters needs any documents to be enclosed, then you can uh, write enclosures below your signature, and you can put this part enclosures, and you list all the documents includes. Sometimes it can be a single document, sometimes it can be a list of documents. Try to enclose it and number them properly. And another important thing you should remember is you should list them important wise, because if it is a series of documents of series of 5 documents, then what document is looked at first by the reader, you mark it number 1. Then the second document, you want the document which is to be read second is to be numbered as 2. So in this way the list of documents should be numbered very properly. And the enclose when you are enclosing these documents uh, with the letter, enclose it with the serial number that you have put written in the enclosure. The serial number put in the enclosure and marked in the enclosure should be matched with the documents you are enclosing, that they should be in the same number when you are enclosing, because it is easy for the reader, the recipient, to look at the documents. And look at this, I have given you some useful opening phrases for any official letter. You can first begin your letter with thank you for your letter dated concerning, and you can write the purpose what it is concerned with. And you can write I apologize for the delay in replying. If you are late in replying something, you have delayed in replying somebody, then you can start your letter I apologize for the delay in replying, and then you better mention the reason why it is a delay. And you can write like thank you for sending me, because uh, the person has sent you a catalog or quotation or any information, so you can express your gratitude at the beginning of the letter. As stated in your fax or mail dated, when you are referring something, the mail or fax, you can start as stated in your fax, I am sending this letter to you, or I am sending something, whatever it is stated in the fax, and what is your response with that fax or mail, you are writing it, because the reader will be able to know why this letter is directed. Then I wish to draw your attention to the. You can draw the attention of somebody, uh, and you can write the reason why you are writing that letter. That is why uh, for uh, uh, for which you are drawing the person's attention. Then I refer to your letter dated. You can. This is a very common way of starting a letter. I wish to inform you that. If you want to inform something, you can write it this way. And then the next. In continuation of our telephone conversation dated. So these days it has become a very common that the conversations happens in the telephone, and to make you the person remember that you have told something on the phone, you can write like this: in continuation of our telephone conversation dated so and so, I'm writing to inform you that, and I'm writing to confirm our telephone conversation. Okay, if something discussed and you have arrived at some conclusion on the phone, so that needs to be put on the paper. So in that with at the time you can write that we have discussed this, and this is our conclusion. So you can start it like this: I'm writing to confirm our telephone conversation on date so and so. And see, when you complain, then you can start: I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with whatever thing you are complaining about, that you can provide it. I would be grateful if you could forward me. So you are requesting somebody to forward a price list. You want to buy something and you want a price list, then you can make it like this: I would be grateful if you could forward me a price list. I am contacting you regarding. So this is also another way of starting the letter, because I am writing this letter regarding something. When you are enclosing something, for example, now you have asked for a price list and the person is enclosing a price list, then please find the enclosed copy of price list. In that way, it's very easy. I am writing to complain. This is also one way of complaining. Here is a list of useful closing phrases. I look forward to hearing from you. I would be grateful if you look into the matter as soon as possible. Please do not hesitate to contact if you require further information. Please let me know as soon as possible what action you propose to take. Please contact me if you need further details. These are some useful closing phrases. As this is an official letter, your phrases should be very formal, like awaiting for your reply and hoping replying soon, hoping you reply soon. Avoid such all kind of informal phrases. And uh, uh, you should be very formal in the letter writing. So this is something about formal letter writing. What is important in the letter writing is your language. I already told you it should be simple and direct language. So let us recall what we have discussed till now. Letters can be of many categories, like letters of complaint, letters of invitation, letters of condolence, letters of appreciation. Okay, these are various categories of letters. And the other thing we discussed is the letter should be in a simple and direct language. Avoid grammatical errors. Have a spell check. Better have a draft than go for a final letter. And the various parts of a letter are: sender's address, recipient's address, date, salutation, then the body of the letter, complimentary close, and your signature. Okay, so this is something about our letters. Thank you for your patient listening.